Literacy expert Carl Anderson has done extensive work in the area of writer conferencing. He claims that conferring with students is our most crucial writer's workshop role. This type of formative assessment tells students and teachers the skills students are mastering, but also what they need next instructionally. I think most would agree that conferring with students is essential. However, this facet of writing time can be grueling for teachers. But I think I know why. I think all teachers may not know that there are different kinds of conferences that serve different purposes. There is a place for that long, laborious meeting with one student at a time at some table or the teacher's desk. It's called a product conference. A product conference will take 15, 20, 25 minutes because you have to get through the entire piece. And it's most often utilized when preparing for a final draft. Because we're going to talk about the entire piece of writing, we're going to point out numerous strengths and numerous areas of improvement. And therefore, we need to be one-on-one with the student. In order to have this quiet one-on-one time, these conferences are typically held at a separate place, somewhere isolated, so you can have a quiet conversation. But product conferences should happen infrequently. Only about 3 or 4 times a year would a teacher sit down with a student and go over an entire piece, sentence by sentence. Rather, the daily mode of conversing with students should happen in a process conference. This type of conference is going to only be a few minutes, and it can happen at any stage in the writing process. Teachers may sit down with students and talk about where they are in choosing a topic, or as they start to pre-write, while they're drafting, or when they're revising and editing. We need to talk to students way more than at that very final revision and editing stage. I guess that's my biggest aha, is that our students would rather have a few minutes of teacher feedback regularly than 20 minutes of our time once a month. They need to be in touch with the teacher more often. Now, since this conference is much shorter, you also have to realize that you can't talk about everything. You've got to zero in on a single area of improvement rather than everything that needs to be fixed. Students are not going to read the entire piece. They're just going to show or read a portion, and then you give that feedback. You also don't have to do this all alone. You can have these conferences with small groups of students. Each student reads a small portion, and you give that complimentary feedback and suggestions for improvement. Such small group conversations will happen at the students' desks rather than in isolation. And again, this is how I would talk to writers daily. Again, this type of group process conference will allow you to touch base with more students each day. You will have a better idea of where they are and what they need next when you do these in between the long product conferences. For more information about the substance and management of these short group conferences, check out the related posts linked to the print version of this video and available on our Idea Library.